I just have to say it's strange for me to come to a Democratic event because I left the Democratic Party in 1992 and I became a Green. I come from a Democratic Party tradition. All the rest of my family are Democrats, and I left because post Ronald Reagan, post George Bush, the Democrats said nothing about foreign policy. Was that 30 years ago? 92, right? Yeah. And 30 years later, look at where they choose to celebrate their holiday party on a battleship. A battleship that we're in trouble for highlighting the fact that it's an anti-fascist battleship, Antifa battleship. We get threats, we get the Proud Boys out against us, and yet they can have a fleet week every year. They can have celebrations of the Korean War that this battleship was a part of, a war that killed 3 million people just a couple of years after World War II ended. This battleship has also bombed Puerto Rico. It is also, during Ronald Reagan, carried, I think, the Trident Missile, and it went and threatened the small, poor farmer countries of Central America under Ronald Reagan as it circled in the Caribbean to dare anybody to challenge U.S. hegemony and capitalist model of development. So after that, this battleship has come here 7 or 8 years ago, and we can tell you, we San Pedrans know, it's changed the character of this town. Yeah. It has allowed, it's a Trojan horse, and we're warning the Democrats, as we have been for years and decades, watch out, because if you don't have any sort of strong peace politics, you are going to be drawn to the right, you are going to be drawn into militarism, and there for 7 years now has been Fleet Week. We now have local high schools that have their graduation events here. We have many, many events, and one of the kind of most offensive events I find are veteran support events with no mention of stopping wars. The best way to support veterans is to stop creating them, and so stop lying to people. I am a high school teacher, and I can tell you, young people do not like to be lied to. I'm going to warn you, as we all are, Democratic Party, America is changing. Not only are the youth on fire, can we have a shout out for the youth? Woo-hoo! But the demographics of this country have changed. They look like the world that we have been attacking for 100 years. And so the demographics of this country are not imperialists. They will not support nonstop war. And so we need to be spending our money on all of the social needs that you will be hearing about today. And I'm just going to say, our voices do matter. Our little events like this, in their faces, going to congressional offices, it does matter. Let me just list a couple things that have been going on in Congress that we all need to be supporting, and we're the ones who spearheaded it. Right now, there's a move through Code Pink and many other anti-war organizations. It's called Cut the Pentagon. And Barbara Lee has a bill right now in Congress to cut the Pentagon $350 billion. Can we have a shout out for that? Is pro-peace, okay? I think that's the love vote, right? Also, there are many calls out. There's a call out to talk to your congressperson and make them not take money from the war machine, not take money from corporate interests that support more militarization of our economy.